presence worldwide, we provide a truly Asian perspective. We build lasting values with global capital markets are changing to cope with the ever-evolving needs and demands. We are evolving too. Combining resources and experience, CGS CIMB is a leading financial service provider in Asia. With a strong presence worldwide, we provide a truly Asian perspective. We build lasting values with and for clients. We also offer a wide range of Islamic financial services, adapting to its fast-growing demands. With our experience and expertise, we form the backbone that connect clients to opportunities through our products and service offerings. Backed by an award-winning research team, we provide solid foundations to leap from and to land on. This is our purpose. CGS CIMB, your...
I'd like to thank you for making the time to join us this afternoon. We hope everyone will receive fruitful information from today's program. A brief introduction about our speaker today, Mr. Rashdan bin Muhammad Nansi. He is the Director, Institutional Sales and Head of Islamic Services at CGS CIMB. He graduated, He graduated with MBA from Clarkson University, New York, and started his career as an investment analyst at Jardine Fleming, JP Morgan, before moving to Filio Allied NY as Director of Sales. At CGS CIMB, his focus is in Islamic and socially responsible investing. Ladies and gentlemen, take out your notes as I will be passing the stage to our moderator, Mr. Anwar. The stage is all yours.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Anwar. I'm from the Islamic Center of Excellence at CGS CIMB. And then today's discussion, I'll be introducing Mr. Rashdan bin Nansi, who will come up on stage, please. Right. Also joining in this discussion, our Deputy CEO, Mr. Alamin. And also the Head of Business Development at Islamic Center of Excellence, CGS CIMB, Mr. Jamaluddin Ismail. Right. Have a seat.
Can I take off my mask? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. So excited to be here. And you can see, we brought the whole team with us, including our deputy CEO. Okay, just a brief introduction again. Alan Jamal actually heads the products and business development at Islamic Services. Anwar actually works with Jamal myself as well. So what we plan to have actually today is more like probably an interactive session, discussion rather than a presentation, because the presentation tends to be very boring. Anyway, it's already Friday, it's been a long week, right? So let's have a more like santai session. Okay, santai. So, okay, go back. Okay, how to retire rich in your 60s. So it's actually, we picked this title actually on purpose, because all of you students, actually, you are probably in your 20s, early 20s, right? So why is CGS CIMB want to talk about, something that, will happen 40 odd years down the road, right? When you're 60, right? Too far away. You have not even started your career working yet. Yeah? But what we want to stress here is actually, investing is a lifelong journey, as what Alan mentioned, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme. As you can see here, saya tak handsome dan saya tak kaya. So there's no magic formula today. So we're not going to teach you how to make a million ringgit by trading in, for 1 hour or whatever, right? So no such thing. You can see also Jamal dia handsome tapi dia tak kaya. Alan pun sama lah. Alan maybe handsome. Handsome, I know. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go to the next. This is the reason why we all, not just you, but especially all of us here, we need to plan ahead. These are real. The facts are actually quite unnerving. First, rising cost of living. Okay, again, very very real due to inflation. You can see it. I don't know what's the last rate of inflation announced by Bengara? 7%. But the real rate, for people on the street, right, it's much higher, probably double digit. Right? So, and again, Alan mentioned about the unhealthy levels of debt per household in Malaysia. We tend to overspend using all our credit card, maxing out our credit cards and all that. And another, issue with unemployment and also employment as a whole, because even if you are employed, the wage, has been stagnated for quite some time. So I'm about to lodge my formal complaint here, Alan. Our increment is not enough, so it has to be higher than inflation, right? So So yeah, and I was talking with one of your professor just now. Basically, because both of us started working, about 30 years ago. Both actually started as a management trainee in a bank. At that time, I remember my starting salary was around 2,200, and now 30 plus years, right? I mean, what is the starting salary now?
I think about 2000 if it's a professional.
Exactly. So hasn't changed much. Tak berubah pun dah berpuluh-puluh tahun kan. So that's actually very, very, and at the same time your cost of living and all that is a lot higher, right? Okay, next. Okay, this is also just kita start dengan cerita-cerita sedih dulu lah. So tadi kita dah cakap pasal salary, pasal inflation. Ini pula this fakta daripada EPF. Okay, and this is real, guys. So you see, only 18% of the kita punya contributor meet the minimum savings target. Okay, and only less than half of the people that actually working, okay, have an active EPF account. Lepas tu 70% of members, okay, ni macam I soon lah, I be 55 soon. Nanti bila sampai 55 kita keluarkan, nanti we can keluarkan separuh kan. Dia orang keluarkan, lepas tu sekejap je, tahu lah, ada yang beli rumah ke, ada yang kahwin lagi ke, whatever kan, habis. So lepas tu our life expectancy is now actually getting longer and longer. So I think we are approaching like 80 years. So tak tahu lah the next 50 years tu macam mana dia nak survive. Lepas tu, more than 2/3 of EPF members age 54 have less than 50,000 in their accounts, and about 20%, the bottom fifth, has an average of merely under 7,000. So, and this before we're talking about withdrawal from iLestari lah, iSina lah, pay the 10,000 withdrawal. So yeah, so these are real, and these are actually reminders to all the students. Okay, still far away, but you have to prepare from now, because you don't want to be in this group when you turn 55 or 60. You are in this situation. Okay, all right, next. So what should you do? Okay, again, there's no magic formula. Sorry, tak handsome dan tak kaya. Jadi three things. Okay, first, start investing early. So that's why we encourage you to seriously look at investment. And then we're going to go over later lah. I mean, there's many options for you, but just to give you an illustration very easy, this is a simple compounding lah. Kalau all of us put 500 ringgit, okay, per month, and hopefully that 500 will give you a return of 7%, which is actually not easy, but okay. So if you start, sekarang you a student, by the time you graduate, let's say hopefully by 25 you can start saving. You at 25 you start saving, and then by the age of 60 you should have about 830,000 for your retirement. Now let's say if we just delay that by 10 years, if you start at 35, the amount dropped significantly. So it's like almost 500,000, 400 something thousand, lower to only 379. And of course, kalau dapat 5 tu dah terlambat lah, tak payah tengok kan. Jadi, that's why that's actually illustrate the importance of starting your investment journey early. Alright. And then next, second thing, setting your target. So this one coming back to what we highlighted earlier from the EPF punya statistic tu lah. Dia kata dia done the study, I learned back in 2019. Dia kata in order to live, but even this one I think it's not the number is already too low. 3,000 back in 2019 dia kata EPF kata with 3,000 you can live comfortably in the country. Tapi tak boleh kan? No way. But anyway, just based on that study, you need 3,000. So kalau you need 3,000, something that means kalau satu tahun berapa? Kali 12, 40. 36. Senang ambil 40 lah So 40, and then assume you can live up to 75, right? So say times 20, so you need about 800. Yeah. So it works. We come back to that our compounding table just now. So you need about 800. You need, yeah, by 60. Okay. So and then of course, again based on the other factors like lifestyle, inflation, and also the retirement age. And the third thing that you should do after knowing setting your target, okay, knowing that you have to start early, is to actually start investing yourself. Okay, so but of course you have to take some buffers lah. I mean, you have to have some saving in case of emergency. And if you already owning credit card, let's sort those out first, settle all your whatever loans with the high interest rates or profit rates, and then whatever money savings that you have, then you should look at investing the money, make the cash works for you. And again, today in this short session, we're just going to highlight 5 of the most common instruments out there, but of course the list is not exhaustive. I mean, I'm sure there are so many other instruments to invest in, but just look at these 5. Okay, let's see next. Okay, Slido time, Anwar. Okay, please take out your phone. Anwar, you want to take them through?
Yeah. If everyone can take out your phones, and there'll be a question for you to answer. We'll go through the questions together.
Boleh ya? Make sure semua. Tak nampak. Oh, blocking lah. We just want to make it interactive, lah. So hopefully we all participate in some of these questions. Also will help us to actually understand all of you better as well. Boleh, Jamal? Tak boleh.
Okay. Yeah, the question is dapat semua? Okay.
Alright,
So
okay,
that's
interesting.
Alright, as we wait for response.
I hope my thesis will be right lah. So let's see. It's just cryptocurrency, 22%. So yeah, we purposely don't put forex there because legally it's also of course from the Sharia perspective it's also not Sharia compliant, but legally also there's a lot. It's a gray area lah. So better stay away from forex. Right, Evan?
I think that's about it.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, I know maybe we can go through the results.
All right, so we were expecting initially cryptocurrency to go up at years. I thought you young muda-muda semua mostly would know cryptocurrency, but actually not. Stocks and shares, that is very good because that is what we are very expert about at CGS CIMB. So yeah, stocks and shares 76%, unit trust 7%, not bad, and I'm quite surprised that a lot of people know about private retirement schemes.
Ni mesti doktor, prof semua ni.
The aging group, But because I believe when I was your age, I wouldn't know about private retirement schemes, to be honest. But bonds and sukuk and crypto, second last. So yes, since stocks and shares are our expertise, I think we can move to the next question.
All right. Okay, let's go next. Are there any question or?
I think that's all.
Okay.
All right, so we want to know about your risk preference. So what do you feel when what do you think about investments? What's your strategy? As a young, sebagai anak muda, what do you think is your best strategy moving forward?
Tak ramai yang agresif sini which is good also.
Almost half the room moderately aggressive. Yeah, I mean, it's about the moderately aggressive is, I guess, on par with what we expect from this age group. We do need to be aggressive, but we do need to be cautious as well. Obviously, moving forward, we have to diversify our investments, not only in stocks and shares. We can go into unit trusts and other forms of investment instruments, which we will go through later on.
Excellent. All right. Thanks everyone for your participation. We'll be asking few more questions before we let you ask us questions later. Okay. All right. So, Okay, we have gone through this. So maybe next slide. Okay, right. So we have listed 5. Okay, so I'm sure most of you also probably have some knowledge in terms of the what sort of investment options out there. But before I start with all these 5 instruments, probably a bit of introduction in terms of we just talking as a Muslim. Okay, there is the Sharia compliant ways of not only investing but doing everything, banking. Because I mean, some of you from the investment Islamic finance, degree, right? So, so there is always an option to do your investment in the Sharia compliant ways, and you must do it. So for CGS CIMB also, when you open an account, the first thing that we ask you is actually you want to open Islamic or conventional. So, and from that your journey will begin. So probably Jamal, probably you can want to say a few things about Sharia compliant investment.
Assalamualaikum semua. Selamat pagi. Very short. You all semua from the majoring in business, I guess, finance or things, right? So whatever this is based on my experience during my college years, whatever you learn at universities are very basics, it's not to enable you to immediately get the job done, yeah. So, but whatever you learn on the ratios and all those things, on the financials, how to see the balance sheet, and all those are actually applicable. It's applicable not only for conventional but also for Islamic. So whenever people talk about Islamic investing, for example, don't think that it's too alien. It's not because the fundamentals are still the same, whether it's conventional or Islamic. If you have proposals, where to invest, the way you evaluate it's still the same. The numbers still the same. I'm looking at the same numbers, I said before. However, Islamic got a little extra as far as the screening is concerned to ensure your investment is in Islamic way. And this is where I think CGS CIMB, we have this. So our customer do not have to do this on their own. Our system is from the start to the end, is done in a Sharia compliant manner. I think.
Okay. Alright, thanks Jamal. So Jamal Nasab, actually kita orang ni sama batch. Boleh produk ITM juga, boleh. Terus kita dulu we did our KPP dekat Shah Alam kan. Yeah. Different dorm tapi same time lah. So anyway, and after that he spent about 11-12 years in Saudi Arabia, working with one of the major banks over there before joining us and Bursa before that. So okay, anyway, so stocks and shares. Okay, short and sweet. I think everybody knows stocks. What is stocks and what shares? Of course, shares are traded on the stocks exchange, and kalau dekat bursa ni kita punya lot size or block there is 100 units. But kalau go to US or whatever, it can go with 1 unit then. And then there are 2 ways to buy shares. Okay, again, everybody knows. One is IPO. The other one is already go. Set up your account, your trading account, your CGS account, and then start trading lah. You use brokers like CGS CIMB, go to our IQ platform, set up shares. But the first is actually for through IPO. But even if you want to buy IPO, also you need to set up your CGS account, trading account. So you can go apply using Maybank to you or whatever for e-IPO. So last week ada satu big IPO, mega IPO. Tahu tak apa IPO tu? Last week. Anyone? Susu. Yeah, Farm Fresh, ticker FFB, IPO price 135. I think that day went to a high of 186. Now it's around 160 something like, but still it's in the plus column. So yes, so once you get your CDS account, everything set up ready, then you can participate in the future IPOs. Okay, next slide. Again, this one, how can I gain from my investment? Simple. There are actually two ways. First is capital appreciation, basically buy low, sell high, right? And secondly is through dividend, because most of the companies also they declare dividends either on the quarterly or half yearly or annual basis. So these are the two returns that you can get from investing in stock. And how do you know which stock to buy? Okay, again, there's no magic formula, but you can rely on Bursa to get information, and also the brokers. So for us, CGS CIMB, we are very proud to have a research team consisting of about 23 analysts that covers not just Malaysia but other exchanges as well. So, and we've been recognized as a top research house for many years already. So the experience that you get is actually once you have open account with any broker, actually you will also get access to the research reports prepared by the analysts. Of course, this can be used as guidance for you for your investment. Any other ways to get source? What's Bursa? Bursa Marketplace is also a good way. Okay, all right. Next. Okay, Slido time again. So we talk about investing in stocks. So what sort of returns that we can expect by investing in stock? Make your guess. Tesla, electric car, listed in Nasdaq and NYSE. Now everybody talking about ESG, electric vehicle. So I think there's a lot of interest in the industry and also especially in the stock lah. So what do you think, Amang? Berapa? What do you put? Jamal letak 250% dia. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's still get more response. Ingat tadi kita punya compounding punya table tadi we use 7%, 7% return to calculate. So let's see how much. Of course, the disclaimer here is actually if we pick the right stock lah, okay? How much you can earn if you pick the right stock over 10 years.
I think it's 5%. The room gives us 5%.
Okay lah. So probably you can read the result now.
Okay,
So the results, the results from you, I think majority 31% says 500%. Okay, the rest 250 and about 16% say 1,000. Okay, all right. Let's look at the actual performance of Tesla. Okay, guys, probably difficult to see, but this number here is 109399. So over 1,000%. Okay, nice chart, right? So yeah, so that's sort of return that you can expect if you pick again. The big caveat here is we pick the right stock. But anyway, this let's go to okay. This is Tesla. Let's go to Bursa. Okay, this is actually performance of some of the stocks, Sharia compliant stocks. Okay, listed on Bursa. We also do it over 10 years, and the result is also very very good. This is Inari tech company. The performance is actually better than Tesla. 1617%. This is Takaful Insurance. Even BIMB also performance very good. But Takaful 1257%. And then you have Genetech. Genetech ni baru je macam last year lah when brokers start covering the stock suddenly. It involved in also electric vehicle, is it?
EV and 5G.
EV and 5G. Okay, so 719%. But the performance only happened about 3 years ago, and Unisem is about 487. So regardless, you know which market, you can always find stocks that actually really outperform the market and will give you that multi-bagger sort of profit. All right.
Yeah, I think if I want to add, it goes to show that research is really important. So if you do open an account with any of the brokers, especially with us, you do get access to all the research reports, so you can make a more informative decision. So our analysts would cover all the stories. Even when Genetech was going out, we were covering it about how they were going into EVs and 5G. So go read up reports, read up the analysts' comments. They have like a call for you to follow. If there's a buy call, you can follow them. If it's a reduce or a hold, just those are just recommendations. But it's very helpful. I think it's a great source of information for you to make a decision when it comes to your trading strategy and your buy and sell calls.
Yeah, so betul. Bila you open account, the first page that you should open is actually the research, not the trading hall, right? So, by the way, all these actually 5 companies actually covered by us. So, yeah. Okay, so the next instrument, bonds or sukuk. I think everyone here is also familiar, right, with sukuk. Yeah. Do we need to go through? Anyway, again, financing instruments. Then there is also to raise funds by companies, and the underlying transaction structured based on Sharia principle. So let's focus on sukuk because Malaysia is the biggest sukuk issuer globally. I think we have about 70-80% market share, I think, in terms of the issuance. But is it something that is actually suitable for retailers, individuals, and also to millennials, young people, right? So because I think sukuk bond in general, this is a long term, the tenure 10, 20, 30 years, whatever, so probably at the early stage of your investment journey, maybe bond and sukuk probably might not be in your portfolio. Am I right to say? You agree or disagree?
Yeah, thanks. I think generally it is widely accepted financial planning principles that when you are young, you can put more of your savings into more aggressive investments. When you are slightly older, you put in less aggressive, more conservative type of investment. Why is that? That's because when you are slightly older, let's say 50 years old, 60 years old, your ability to work and earn an income becomes shorter. So if you put in aggressive investment, you lose your money when you're older, you will not be able to earn back so easily because of time is on your side. But when you're young, time is on your side. Even if you lose money in some investments, you can make your money back through the savings that you make from your income. And Rashdan did point out very correctly that when it comes to investing, it is a lifelong journey, and you will definitely make mistakes. You will definitely make mistakes, and we call it paying tuition fee in the market.
Hopefully not too expensive.
Hopefully not too expensive. So how do you avoid paying too much tuition fee? One way is to be more informed. You read up in the financial books, read up the newspapers, read up the research reports, as Anwar mentioned. Secondly is to talk to your few good friends, friends who are probably a bit more reliable, and not those who tell you, okay, go and invest in this get rich scheme. So just now when we went to the trading lab, we see people groups. That's good because they discuss. So when you discuss, you can bounce it off with someone and say, I think this might work. What do you think? My advice is to look for someone you can talk to older than you, can be your mentor. So that person probably pays some other tuition fees. Like Rashdan paid a lot. Paid a lot of tuition fees. I also paid a lot. So definitely we will be paying some tuition fees. But find a mentor who get that.
Yeah, we paid a lot. We've been to at least 2 market crashes, right? So very, very expensive tuition. But thanks, Alex. So next slide. Okay, this is just continuation. Again, where you get your investment gain from for sukuk holders is actually from the profit from the underlying assets, which is coupon payment. And also upon maturity, you get the capital back. Okay. And again, before you invest, of course, do your research, read the prospectus, and all that. So, okay, next. Oh, question time. Okay, so take out your phone again. Let's do some exercise here and see. I mean, the whole. This question is actually just to compare the return between stocks, fixed income. No answer. Oh. Yes, very interesting. 6% is what we got from EPF, right? So you think our MGS pays better than EPF? Did I say something to affect?
Yeah, I think everyone knows now, but we can move to the slide.
Okay, let's see the results. Yeah, no, take it through.
Alright, so yeah, majority of you answered.
Let's see the
But it's actually 4%.
fans.
Yeah, but if you notice, from 2009, the band has been just between about 4.5 to 2.5%. So you won't get to 6% of your ESP not bad. It is another means of investment, but it won't yield you as much compared to stock trading, which you can gain up to more than 6%.
Yeah. And also, yeah, Jamal, you want to say something?
Nampak 2005, 2009, 12, 15, 19 So yeah, nampak kan And when we talk about investment, I think you learn this is very true risk and return. Yeah. The more risk you take, normally the higher the return And when we talk about bonds, government bond, we know that it's going to be, the risk is not as high as other type of investment. That's why the return is not.
For government bonds, it's almost no risk. I don't think government will default. Risk free, right? Yeah, it's risk free. And also, anyone care to want to explain why the yield dropped a lot in 2021, in 2020 and 2021? And why? Because of COVID and then yes, but why COVID resulted in a drop in yield? Okay, lockdown. Okay, that's what happened. Events happened, but why the price of bonds went up?
I heard someone say demand. Okay. Okay.
What's the answer?
I wanted to know why during COVID or during recessions people go for bonds? So there's a reason.
Safe haven. So conversely, now that the yields are going up, which means the prices are falling, people are starting to go out to mama store, for shopping, moving away from safe haven to taking more risk.
Correct. Yep. So it's actually inverse relationship, right? Yield and price, right? Price go up, yield go down. So yes, there's a lot of demand for safe haven instruments during time of uncertainties. All right. Okay. Next. Okay. This is actually the most popular one, right? After stocks. Okay. You want to go explain?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Unit trust funds. I believe everyone is quite familiar. There's numerous mutual funds around Malaysia, especially. I think the famous one is also like CIMB Principles, Public Mutual, and the rest. So what they do is basically they create a portfolio for you, and in that portfolio there's a mix of stocks and shares, there's a mix of derivatives, fixed incomes. So this is a bit more diversified. This is for those who, I guess, wouldn't have much time to spend on the stocks and shares, looking at the market. But the return is obviously it's slightly less compared to stocks and shares because of the risk is slightly less compared to the stock market. So yeah, you can obviously, that's how do you invest? You meet up with those agents and they would set you up opening up an account and creating a fund for you to choose. Obviously, the unit trust funds follows your risk preference. So the riskier you want, the more rewards or the more return that you hopefully can get. So it depends on the market as well. So that's basically unit trust funds.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the most trusted name when it comes to unit trust? Apa nama yang selalu? Yeah. So ESP lah. So but ESP is not the typical unit trust. It's not really a unit trust structure because the buy and sell is fixed at RM1. It's not on RMAB, right? So exactly. So if you have the opportunity to invest in ESP, I think you probably gonna max your ESP first before you go invest in other unit trust. That's my personal view. And then I don't know whether you agree with me or not. Okay. Structured warrants, okay, this is non-Sharia compliant, but we put there because it's quite common. It's also listed, okay, on Bursa. So the issuers typically is actually financial institution, brokers, investment banks. Very short term. The reason why betul tak Jamal, it's not Sharia compliant is because you don't have the ownership, right? So it's just an option, a right, but not an obligation to buy or sell the underlying financial instrument. So the two types, most common one, of course now there's a lot of hybrid structured warrants out there, but it's most of the warrants out there actually categorized under call and put. Okay, so call warrants, again, how do you gain? If the price of the underlying stock goes up, then your warrant price also goes up. And for put, it's the other way around. So you benefit if the underlying shares or the mother share goes down. And in terms of the risk, of course, the risk profile is higher for structured warrants. So again, probably at this early stage of your investment journey is something that you don't look at just yet. Okay. Private retirement scheme. Anwar, care to elaborate?
Sure. All right. Yeah, I was surprised that a lot of people answered private retirement scheme. It's because I think the one that we all know is EPF. That is mandatory for all workers. Semua pekerja kena bayar EPF. But there's also other private retirement schemes outside that you can subscribe. So private retirement schemes is just very simple. Share a cut of your income when you work will be placed into the account, and once you come up to your retirement age, you can withdraw the cash and use the money that you saved up. So private retirement scheme is a much simpler investment instrument, nothing too fancy, just putting in the money. And obviously there's private pension plans, schemes that you must go to that is registered with the Securities Commission. So all this you can check into the SE's website, and they have a list of companies that you can go and subscribe your private retirement scheme. So, yeah.
So this is like in addition to EPF, EPF scheme, right? On top of that, and offered by I think most of the asset managers.
Yeah, there's a few things that you need to take note when choosing those plans for your private retirement scheme. Some of the things that you might need to consider is your age at the time, your personal household income, risk tolerance, retirement objective, suitability of the different funds. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you would see risk preference and risk tolerance is always the key. That determines how you want to start investing and putting in your money. Another question. So after we've gone through broadly the main investment instruments, we would like to know which investment instrument is the best suited for you. So after going through just now all the 5 instruments, which one would you pick at the end of the day?
Yeah, we didn't mention crypto, but we always just put there just to test you guys.
I think everyone is using the ESP or yeah, good. Betul lah. I nampak ada orang go. Betul stop ESP je, stock exchange pun.
So it's a ESB factor.
Exactly, yes.
But again, betul, ASP is capital protected. That's the first thing, right? But again, if you are looking at higher return, the ASP won't give you the kind of return that stock and shares can give. Rashdan already showed, for example, some stocks that have been doing very well for the last 10 years. There is a 100% of ASP won't give you that kind of return. So have knowledge, and stock and shares should be one of the investment avenue that should be considered.
So I think the crowd is really, I would say, conservative in the approach, and yeah,
Moderately.
moderately, not so much aggressive, because I did mention it's a lifelong journey, and where you guys starting is now, it's actually very, very early. So you know, if you started your journey when you're 20, so you have 40 years, and it's always at the early stage. We can go more aggressive, take higher risk, but of course, once you're approaching your 50s, and then you become you're more interested in actually protecting your investment rather than growing it. So anyway, this is the result. Definitely, I must say it's the ASP factor. Overwhelming majority prefer unit trust, but again, as what Jamal said, if with ASP giving you 4 or 5%, whether you can achieve your objective, your retirement objective by just putting everything in unit trust. So yeah, let's wrap up. Okay, so conclusion there. Kita start dengan all the facts, fakta, pasal inflation, wage stagnation, and also the statistics from ETF. It's very actually quite sad, in terms of the state of retirement planning in Malaysia. Okay, so, and at the same time, you can see life expectancy is 76 in 2022, but by the time you reach your retirement age, the life expectancy could go up to 90, 80, 90, right? So it will keep going up. And also saving alone, or even ASP alone, is not sufficient to sustain our livelihood once retired. So it's crucial that we start investing early, we start investing now, and good to have a good grounding in terms of financial literacy. It's what we are learning now in UiTM. But as they say, we cannot put books to actions. Okay, jadi kita kena buat. So that's why I think today here we are really promoting the trading lab. Please make full use of that to learn, very, very valuable lessons about risk and rewards within the stock market. Sekarang ni okay lah, you play with people money kan. Kalau tak pun, kalau you hilang 100,000 real money tu banyak kan, tapi it's okay, it's part of your learning process. So please take that opportunity to learn as much as possible. Of course, you have your lectures apa semua, tapi I think as also the sponsor of this training, but if you need some guidance, assistance, we'll be more than happy actually to help you in a way lah. Kalau nak some information ke, want to know more, some of us are very good with charts and all that technical analysis. You can also reach out to us. You can see what we can do to help you. And then this one I cannot propose you open your accounts right away, but please learn the trading semua dulu dekat your trading lab. Once you are very, very comfortable, then you can open a trading account hopefully with us, but of course you can open trading account with any broker lah, and so that we can also help you to grow with you in your investing journey. Okay, that's I think the conclusion lah from our short talk today. This is just to give you again. We have various products, both Islamic and conventional products. Tapi untuk investors yang baru nak start dalam dunia pelaburan ni, I not recommend we have this product called iCash trading account. Okay, basically it's an Islamic trading account. Okay, you can deposit any amount in the trading account, and the deposit is actually equals to your limit lah. Here, because selalunya kalau kita buat stock trading ni, kita ada leverage. Basically, kita bagi your limit is actually based on your cash plus your equity value lah, whatever stock shares yang ada dalam account you. Or we can even give you margin. Tapi for beginners, let's start with this one, straightforward. Kalau you letak 1,000, that is your limit. You can only trade up to 1,000 ringgit. Until you jual, and then you free up that cash, masuk semua dalam your punya trust, and then again 1,000 ringgit lah. Or if you make profit, let's say lah, you grow to 1,500, then your new limit will be 1,500 lah. Macam tu. Don't overtrade, okay? And then to encourage people to open this account, we are giving a very low brokerage rate, which is 8 basis points. Ataupun minima dia 8 ringgit. And the beautiful part of this iCash trading account is actually kita punya cross border. So bila you open when you open iCash account, you can also opt for cross-border trading. So you can do your online trade for Bursa, not only Bursa, but also New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, Singapore, Hong Kong, lepas tu Singapore, Hong Kong dan Indonesia. So and Thailand as well. So total 7 exchanges lah. So again, it's an option. You tak payah trade, you tak nak trade pun tak apa, but it's always an option once you are getting more comfortable and you want to diversify. Because kalau you put everything in bursa pun, sometimes markets like that, bursa could be down. Like last year, we were, I think, the worst or the second worst performing stock market. Whereas saudara kita dekat Indonesia, dekat Thailand, double digit return. Okay, so next. Oh, and also, of course, you once you open an account, this one is a different type of account. But as I trade clients, all of you will have access to research, not just for Malaysia, but also the cross-border markets as well. And basically, to open an account, again, very easy. There's a QR code there. Key in the reference code, and you should set to go. Anwar, anything to add to this?
No, not really. I hope you can start opening your account, learn from the trading lab. Obviously, I guess that is the first step. I guess from my experience, we didn't have the trading lab back then. Masa dekat UiTM, so this is a great opportunity actually. The simulation and all that. I think your lecturers will also do some exercises with you, and that's a great opportunity to learn the stock market, because I've learned pretty late. I started when I
started. You put UiTM?
Yes, diploma.
Okay. UiTM, and we have Nurul also. From Segamat, UiTM Segamat. So macam Alan cakap tadi, we do have a lot of alumni with us.
Take this opportunity to learn. So I only learned when I started working at CGS CIMB about the stock market. And I actually would have loved to start a trade, investment early in my life, early in my 20s, because I started only in my late 20s. So take this opportunity, learn and ask a lot of questions to your lecturers, and hopefully your lecturers could help. If they can't, they can ask us as well to help out. So yeah, hopefully this relationship between CGS CIMB and UATM would further flourish and grow, and hopefully we get more UATM students on board at CGS CIMB.
Okay, sebelum we end the session, Q&A dulu, Q&A tak start lagi. So,
sorry.
okay, before we can let you go, you have to ask questions to Alan and Japan, not me. Okay, so how are we going to do it? We should pass the mic or?
Ada soalan, guys? Any questions for the stock market? Any questions about us or the company or whatever? Then you want to ask me? You want to ask the old guys about how was the trading lab? Tadi you guys from the trading lab? Okay lah. Ada soalan?
Good. Because we also have a door gift here, so but we won't be given those cards until at least five of you ask questions.
Well, that's good.
And I have one more. Izam, it's also from ITM.
Sorry, I bukan nak tanya.
Oh, tadi ada.
Puncak alam. Puncak alam, sorang. Saya tak tahu, Masya Allah, kan kita punya my team boleh katakan more than 50% of my team. So no question lah?
Ada.
Oh ada? Okay.
And
Ini. Dalam Slido. Oh, okay. Sorry.
okay. Okay.
Okay lah. Everybody will get the dog dish. That question, okay, better be quick then.
Okay. First question. Exactly how much do you need to live comfortably at your 60s? I guess this is more towards the old guys, not me.
I don't know, we use that example based on EPF findings 3,000, but so the very minimum is actually you're looking at 1 million per household, 1 million. So I don't know. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, but I think if you try to project, 40 years down the road, even 1 million is probably not enough. But anyway, we can start with 1 million. I don't know, Jamal. That depends on lifestyle.
Yes, just to add that, of course, like what I just said just now, it depends on lifestyle. Yeah, different people like different things. Yeah, some like to have big cars, some like motorbike is enough for them. So it's difficult. You have to ask yourself actually what kind of life that you want, and based on whatever my colleague Ashdan and Anwar shown on the presentation, yeah. The main thing is actually, if you look at the competition, it's on the compounding. For you to get to that numbers, it's actually because of the compounding effect. And this you learn from university. I believe you learn it, right? So you can do it, the simulation yourself. Use Excel. You know the numbers that you want based on your lifestyle. Because keep in mind that we never know what's going to happen in the future. The older you get, the higher the medical bills. So there's so many things there. So once you got the numbers, then start doing the compounding to know the kind of investment that you need to do from now.
Okay. All right. The next question. I think this is more related to the safe haven that was mentioned earlier during the bonds and sukuk. So the question was, do you think that investing in gold will be good in the long run? So luckily for you, we have a gold expert here. Okay, Jamal.
Okay. Gold, First of all, okay. if we look on kita tengok on the Islamic side, gold itself actually ada hadis on it, for ribawi items, of course kita tahu lah. This is to show that gold in Islam itself look at gold as one of the valuable items. It's called ribawi items. Then it is treated as currency. In the old days, that's why a hadith from Rasulullah SAW that mentioned about this. And there are conditions for people to do business or to trade in gold. So in religion, in Islam, gold is considered a very valuable item. So it will be valuable until the end of time, because this this is a commodity that you, for physical, you need to get it somewhere, and of course the amount is limited. When the amount is limited, it's not the amount is scarce, the price will always be there. Of course, today it will be up, next day it will be down, but it won't be negative or zero. It will always have value. Unlike currency, if the country is deeply, the economy is very bad, the currency can be very bad also, right? But for gold, it's going to be stable in that sense. If we look at the historical prices, actually, if you look at, for example, 10 years or 20 years ago, if you compare to the price today, you can see that the return is very high. How many 100% actually? If I know that the price is going to be that, like today, I should have invested, because the price has increased very big. Okay, so whether you should invest in gold or not, again, it's all about timing. Okay, and this is where you need to read more, because historically, for example, whenever the interest rate up, normally the price of gold will go down, and there is a relationship. Whenever there is and normally the relationship is with the US currency. They are reverse relationship. So don't speculate. Don't speculate when it comes to gold, because even the speculation, you still need to have a base. You still need to have ilmu. You need the knowledge and get into the investment at the right time. However, if you are a long-term investor, you don't mind, you want to spend this, okay, never mind, I want to keep this for 10 years, then I would say gold can give you good return. But if you are talking about short-term or mid-term, 5 years kind of thing, it won't guarantee you that you are going to get big return from the investment.
Thank you, Jamal. All right. The next question, I think I'll combine a couple of questions together. It's more on the strategy. A question was asked, how do you diversify? And another question was asking about how do you maintain profit for a long term in your investment. I guess this is more on a strategy on how you want to invest. If I could get Adam to maybe give a word or two on how best to approach your investment strategy when it comes to diversifying and also maintaining a profit.
All right, there's a rule of thumb that you can use, a simple rule of thumb that you can use to determine how much to put into equities. We all know that equities is one of the riskier asset classes, and sukuk or bond will be the reverse and one of the safest. So a rule of thumb is to take the number 100 minus your age. The difference is what you should be putting into equities. That's just a basic, very simple rule of thumb. So if you are 20 years old, you could put 80% into equities. Why is that? As I mentioned, because your age is you're young, you can afford to take that risk, and you should, so that your return will be higher with the compounding effect. When you reach older age, like 60 years old and beyond, you will have a very much larger amount. So the other rule of thumb is take the number 72, divide by the return that you're looking to pay, that would be the number that you would, number of years that you would take to double your money. Okay. Because of the compounding effect. So 72, if you're 7% return, it will take you 10 years to double your money because of compounding. For compounding to work, you need to leave your money there. Not like after you invest for 1 year, with the return, you go and withdraw half, then sorry, and the compounding doesn't work, right? Because you need to let the return compound with higher return and compound. That's where you can imagine the snowball. By the time it rolls down from the hill to the bottom is big. That's the illustration of compounding. So how do you keep your investment return high? One of the reasons I've been mentioned is to do a proper asset allocation. The second is to rebalance so the second is to keep your returns in, to let it compound. The third is to rebalance your portfolio. Rebalancing is important because you need to bring your portfolio back to the asset allocation you want. Because over time, when your equities perform better relative to bonds, the percentage will shift. Okay, and then within the equities portfolio, some stocks will do better, then the percentage will also shift. So you don't want, in the example of Tesla just now, after going up 1,000%, the other stocks probably will do less because not every stock is Tesla, right? You probably, after 10 years, you'll find that your Tesla is going to be 90% of your portfolio. You cannot have something like 90% in a single investment. It's not very prudent. So when you rebalance, that means you sell your Tesla and you buy something else. So you do that, and with discipline, you should be on a good path to a good journey for investment.
Who can let Mr. Alan manage your money, right? Can I? Okay, next.
Right. I guess one more question. Because there's a few questions here that I'm just going to combine a few of things. So maybe talk about CGS CIMB. What do we do and what opportunities are there at CGS CIMB for our future stockbrokers or future industry leaders here? And I guess what is the difference between us and Principal, CIMB Principal?
Okay, so Principal is an asset management company. So they are licensed by the Securities Commission as a fund manager. We are licensed by the Securities Commission as a stockbroker. So if you go to Principal, you want to open a trading account, they'll tell you, go to CGS CIMB. If you come to CGS CIMB, you say, I want to buy a unit trust fund that is managed by CGS CIMB, I would say go to Principal, because Principal has unit trust fund companies. So after you put all your money to ASP, you maximize your limit, you may go to Principal to buy unit trust funds because they have a number of unit trust funds. They also have PRS, private retirement scheme. And both Principal and CGS CIMB are partly owned by CIMB. So I hope I answer your question.
And one more question. What opportunities do you think these students have at CGS CIMB?
Plenty of opportunities. So like I said earlier, we have a deep association with UiTM. We have many graduates of UiTM and alumni who are valued members of our company. So if there's any interest regarding joining our company, we could actually direct the interest to our head of HR. I think Suhan will give the contact to the management of UiTM. So every year we have recruitment. So our areas of recruitment range from finance. We have people who are in the finance department looking at our financial reporting, management reporting, tax, regulatory reporting. We also have people in the front line doing sales. so like remisiers or dealers or traders. And at the same time, we are also adding more business opportunities. So like Islamic Center of Excellence is one new area. Jamal is also looking at gold investment. We are also looking at wealth management and fund management. We are trying to get a license from the Securities Commission. And we also have a lot of emphasis on technology. So we are putting more investment into technology. We have been hiring developers, project managers, business analysts, and of course in research, we also have people who are working as equity analysts to analyze stocks at Tesla or Unisem or MPI. So the list is quite long, and I think I will bore you if I will tell you everything. But if you have interest, reach out to our head of HR. Thank you.
Right. I think that wraps it up.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Alan. Thank you very much for your attention. We all gained some knowledge from the presentation, and yes, do let us know if you should require, if you're looking at your career opportunities or even a trading, investment. So just reach out to us. We all here to assist in any way that we can. All right, so thank you very much. We hope we can probably, if there's a interest from your side, we can do this event, similar talk again at the later part. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much to our speaker for all the sharing and tips. We hope that all the knowledge and tips given throughout the talk session will help to us in the future. Just for your information, we have been live streaming from this morning through Faculty Promotion dan Perniagaan YouTube channel. And from this opportunity, I'm glad to invite everyone to subscribe our YouTube channel. And our subscriber are slightly increased is because of this program today. Thank you very much. Before we move on to the next session, we will watch the iTrade promotion video.
Ini soalan yang simple, tapi sebenarnya agak sukar untuk memberi jawapan yang tepat. Okey, sebagai permulaan, tidak ada penanda ukur untuk menentukan modal minimum yang diperlukan. Bermula ikut kemampuan kita. Jadi pelabur seharusnya melakukan perancangan rapi untuk menyediakan modal yang mencukupi untuk mencapai sasaran pulangan masing-masing. Pelabur juga digalakkan untuk mempelbagaikan portfolio pelaburan mereka agar dapat mengurangkan jenis-jenis risiko termasuk risiko pasaran.
Moving on to the next session, I'd like to invite Prof. Dr. Noriati Ahmad, Dean of Faculty of Event and Management, on the stage to give the token of appreciation to our speakers. First is token of appreciation for Mr. Rajdan. Next is to Mr. Allen. Moving on to Mr. Jamal. And last but not least, to our moderator, Mr. Anwar. We would like to ask all the speakers and Dr. Noriati to remain on stage for the photography session. So I would like to ask the speakers and the Noriaki to remain on stage for the photography session. Before that, token of appreciation for Mr. Allen. I would like to invite all the speakers and I would like to ask all the speakers and Now I would like to invite everyone on stage to go down so we can have a photo with the students. So students, please remain listed for the photography session. So all the lecturers, please all right. With that, we have arrived to the end of our program.
Okay, kita dah. Tengok kamera here in 5. 1, 2, 3. Freestyle. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are towards the end of our session for today. So thank you so much everyone for actually being here, and together we have achieved the industry talk at the FBM with the title of How to Retire Rich in Your 60s. So thank you so much everyone. So we would like to invite to all the VIPs, definitely the our management and also our from CGS CIMB to have our refreshments, and to the student you also have your lunch. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you again in our next event, inshallah.
Banyak saya kamera. Nanti panggil semua isbah.
Okay, untuk student siapa yang belum ambil goodies bag ni boleh ambil goodies bag kat depan, and also akan ada lunch bag boleh ambil daripada pintu belakang. Terima kasih.
Ya, dia ambil.